We are finally back renovating the 200-year-old coach house. Last week we started removing the gypsum plaster that was applied in the 60s or 70s. It isn't suitable for stone and brick buildings as it traps moisture. That's exactly why we discovered a rotten beam.
So the main issue now that we uncovered the whole beam here, to some extent why we have this crack here in the wall, is because these beams, as far as I know, they're going around the building and they're holding the building together. They're holding all the walls together. So they are all linked, and this obviously is a weak link, and it's where they were kitted together, they were torn apart, and that allowed this wall to move. Probably this is, it's not good news. Not good news.
We called in an expert to help assess how bad the damage is, but before Benoit arrives, I keep stripping off more plaster to see if any other surprises are waiting for us.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks much better than on the other side. Even this is still well connected here. So this beam is rather healthy, with a bit of surface issues, but I think the core is good. This can stay there. Okay, here. Good, here. So it is not in perfect condition. However, it's also not catastrophic. So I think this is a bit rotten outside, the first centimeter. So I'm sure the core is in good condition. We will have that double check with Benoit, but I think we're good on this side. All the way towards here, well, we need to investigate. It's funny, I can literally smell moisture in this wall. You have to imagine for, I don't know how many decades, this wall was sandwiched between two non-breathable plasters. On the outside there was like a mix that included concrete, and on the inside is this plaster that also is not breathable. So the bricks and everything sandwiched in between two non-breathable plasters. Water is sucked from the soil coming up into the wall. We can't escape. So it goes all the way up to the beam. The beam is sucked in, it gets moist, rots away. So really unhealthy. So it feels good to do that. It feels like, giving this wall a second chance, and hopefully by doing that we can solve all the structural problems and all the cracks that are forming on the outside, or used to form on the outside. Hopefully these don't reproduce, because I think they are the consequence of this wall always being moist and not be able to get rid of that water. So this obviously took longer than it looked on camera, but I'm very pleased another wall is done. And the wood condition is better here than there, so that's also a good surprise. We're not done yet. These two bits here and then this big wall. We should do all today. I really want to finish this today. Unfortunately, the drill is not really made for this. I mean, it's made for this, but maybe for shorter, smaller jobs. So it's heating up a lot. So it's very hot to hold, and it has a funny smell. So I give him a moment to rest. So I just had lunch and a 5-minute power nap for about half an hour, and I'm ready to go on. But I hear a car coming.
Before showing Benoit the rotten beam, I have another question.
So I'm called in the expert's friend, Benoit, which some of you might know from previous videos, even if he's not very popular on this channel, we need him. J'ai dit que tout le monde t'adore et c'est pour ça qu'on t'a appelé. So the question is...
C'est gentil parce que toi tu m'adores pas.
Oui, mais ça a d'autres raisons qu'on ne peut pas divulguer
Donc
sur la chaîne.
je suis en train de porter une amitié que tu ne partages pas avec moi.
Oui, c'est ça, tu portes. Ouais.
Heureusement que tu es là, Anna.
Ici, cette pièce, on ne sait pas encore ce qu'on fait. Mais ce qui nous embête, c'est le mur. Tous les murs définissent pour l'instant les possibilités.
D'accord.
Fume. Tous les murs existants.
C'est dans la tête que ça fume.
Donc, les murs existants définissent ce qu'on doit faire. Et ça, j'aime pas. J'aime bien d'avoir l'espace.
Oui.
Et
avoir une pièce carrée, rectangulaire,
exactement,
carré,
et pouvoir faire tout ce que je veux. Mais le problème, on peut abattre le mur facilement. Il n'est pas porteur, mais il est porteur. Tu comprends? Il est porteur pourquoi? Il n'est pas porteur dans le sens d'être porteur, mais il est porteur parce qu'il porte les solives.
Oui, mais non, on passe une poutre.
Donc il faut... Et je ne sais pas si toi, tu es qualifié pour faire ça. Est-ce que tu sais faire ça? Est-ce que tu as une assurance pour faire ça? Est-ce que tu es suffisamment fort pour supporter les poutres?
Le problème, c'est que je suis petit.
Ah oui, c'est ça. Oui, c'est ça.
Déjà, c'est un problème.
Oui.
Bon, après, j'ai un échafaudage, j'ai un avantage.
Mais est-ce que c'est quelque chose qu'on appelle le maçon pour qu'il nous fasse des trous dans le mur?
Tu te fous de moi, quoi?
Ou on n'a pas besoin de trous dans le mur?
Bah, j'ai pas besoin, on n'a pas besoin de...
D'un maçon pour faire des trous dans le mur?
Bah non.
Oui, mais tu sais que les façades sont déjà faites de l'autre côté.
Et
Donc,
alors
ouais, donc il va pas être content
Et
si
alors
on lui met des fissures.
Jean-Paul, il dira rien parce que c'est moi.
C'est toi, toi, tu le mets. What Benoit suggests is to make two holes in the wall for the beam, as a support for the beam. In one wall it needs to be a bit longer, and in the other it can be a bit shorter because you need to take it in one side and then pull it back in the other hole.
Okay.
So 25 centimeters on one side, 15 centimeters on that side, so that should be fine. La grande question maintenant, est-ce que cet après-midi tu peux commencer ou que demain?
Ah mais je suis déjà pris mon lapin.
T'es pris?
Bah oui,
T'es pris.
je suis prêt.
Ça veut dire quoi, t'es pris?
Je travaille déjà sur un autre chantier.
Non.
Si.
On
Tu
t'a
sais
donné
que-
du travail. Les
Alors,
gens
je
t'ont donné-
t'explique. Ouais, alors je t'explique. Pendant que monsieur fait broum broum avec son
Ouais.
bateau, machin, il fait flotte, il fait
C'est
à
pas
l'arrêt.
broumon, c'est un voilier.
Tu
hein,
sais,
ça fait pas
tu sais que tu t'arrêtes tous les 5 minutes et puis que une panne et puis une deuxième panne,
Ouais.
une troisième panne,
Ouais.
ce qui fait que tu vas jusqu'à Cherbourg et tu reviens en réalité.
Ouais.
Mais t'as pris 2 mois pour faire ça?
Oui.
Waouh. Waouh.
Et alors?
Ben moi je travaille monsieur.
Mm.
Hein?
Et c'est quoi toutes ces images sur Instagram de la Croatie, d'un concert AC/DC? C'était après le travail, c'est ça le soir?
Ah non, c'est mes récompenses.
Ah, c'était récompense. Ok.
Ouais.
Ok.
Grosse poutre chêne.
Ouais. Ou pas, c'est cher, chêne. Mais si c'est une poutre qu'on ne verra jamais plus, est-ce que c'est
Que
pas
ce
dommage
qu'on a
d'utiliser du chêne?
Non.
Est-ce qu'on pourrait pas utiliser
Non.
un truc plus contemporain?
Non, du lamellé-collé.
Oui.
Faudrait voir.
Avec
faire
du
le prix de
époxy,
revient.
des choses un peu qui rassemblent un bateau, du carbone.
Il a été frappé cet été.
Ouais. Ok. Non, une poutre chêne
Non, mais une poutre
qui va nous
chêne.
coûter 5 000 € parce que ça fait.
Une poutre chêne, t'en as pour aller 400 € quoi.
Tu te
C'est
rends
ce que j'ai
compte ce
fait.
que tu peux acheter pour un bateau à 400 €? Combien d'accessoires tu peux acheter? C'est fou. I'm going to recap what Benoit said again. In order to put a beam in, we need to support the ceiling
With
first.
some aqua props.
Yeah, with some aqua props. Aqua.
that's what they
Like Aquaman, aqua props. Okay.
I think they're called aqua.
Okay, aqua props.
Maybe they're
Je
not.
pense
I can
qu'il a été frappé par des vagues.
No. So we need to support the ceiling with some aqua props. And then we can take the wall down and then we insert the new permanent beam into the wall with the 2 holes and then that should be fine. So we basically need you for the installation of the props and then
And the beam. And then once that's installed and everything's sort of secured, then we can knock down the wall.
Yeah.
Allez, on est sur une 6,70 m.
J'ai trouvé ça, enfin, j'ai dépiqueté le mur déjà.
Ouais.
Tu dis rien, tu dis pas, ah, bien fait, bravo. Ah, bah, la barrière, elle était. Ah bah tu vois. Je comprends toujours pas pourquoi il t'aime autant. Tu vas pas mériter. C'est très pourri parce que tu penses que le cœur est encore en bon état, c'est ça?
Oui.
Je pense pas.
Je vais prendre l'échelle, de toute façon, je
Oui.
vais monter là-haut.
Ouais. Parce que celle-ci.
C'est ça ton échelle?
Ouais.
D'accord.
C'est une échelle de sécurité, ça s'appelle. Ouais.
Oui, j'ai vu, hein, ça
Ouais.
commencé.
Comme ça, tu montes, et malgré le fait qu'elle soit, tu vois, automatiquement, elle se remet en position. Safety first. Safety first.
Très safety first.
Safety first, c'est très important.
Très très important.
En fait, il faudrait qu'on fasse des t-shirts safety first et des casquettes. Voilà. Voilà, je t'ai posé l'échelle. Ah non. Ouais. Oui, là, elle est bien placée. Ah, moi, je tiens, regarde. Aïe! Tu t'es fait mal? Ah ouais.
Tu sais que j'ai les doigts encore.
Safety first. Non, il faut juste pas que je lâche. C'est tout.
Wow, laisse tomber, c'est juste l'audier à l'intérieur, elle est saine.
Non, tu rigoles.
Tu rigoles? Mais attends, regarde. Ça rentre pas. Tu peux y aller, hein.
Oui, parce que t'es déjà de l'autre côté. Non, là je suis presque de l'autre côté, là.
Alright, so
Ouais, celle-là, elle est fatiguée.
Mm-hmm.
est-ce qu'il faut qu'on enlève aussi dans l'autre pièce?
Bah oui, il
pour
faut
voir,
vérifier bien.
Faut vérifier tout le monde maintenant.
Ouais.
Ouais.
Ah oui, c'est clair.
Et l'autre partie, là-bas, tu es plus confiant. Ouais, peut-être.
Ah bah, tout va bien, hein.
Ouais.
Elle est dure, hein. Tu peux aller à l'autre bout si tu veux, on peut aller voir à l'autre bout.
Mhm. So, according to Benoit, there is a bit of the beam is rotten, which we have to change. But also, according to Benoit, it's not going to be that difficult. We can just cut that piece out, replace it with another beam, slip in another beam, and then somehow connect them. And it should be done in a couple of days. So this is a smaller problem than I thought. We checked the beams in the other room, and they seem to be okay. And all of these are totally okay, more than okay. They're just as they should be, and as they would be after all these years. I'm relieved. Now, I just started working on this wall, but there is a major difference in between this wall and these walls. And the difference is that here, most of it is still the old original lime-based plaster. And as you can see, it's strong, it's dry, it doesn't come off. The flaky thing here is the paint on top of it. So we need to get rid of the paint, but I do like how it looks. I need to find the spots where they had some replacement plaster and then they used the wrong plaster again and that comes off. But all the other areas, I don't think there's much point in getting it off, just to put in the same thing on again. It's this base plaster layer, which is a mix of thick-grained, not fine-grained, some less fine-grained sand, water and lime. And then we just patch up where it's needed with the more or less the same material they used 200 years ago. That lasts so long. More modern type plaster, not good. I was able to save about, well, half of the wall, I would say. Down here, there was too much of a mix of different materials from different periods of time, so I took it off. In our experience in this region, the moisture creeps up the walls about to here. If I see there's a problem, I can always continue taking off everything. Here, found just another spot. So that was a bit of a thing. Just by taking this metal thing out, a whole row of bricks came out. But I learned from our builders that even if half the wall comes down, they're never scared. So I'm not going to be scared for the strength of this wall here. We're just going to build it up again. I am so happy that this beam situation can be solved and we can replace the beam. It's just a tiny thing compared to the whole coach house renovation, but without addressing this, the whole back facade could collapse. And interestingly enough, that's exactly the same thing when it comes to your homepage. One weak link and the whole user experience for everybody who visits your site can collapse. And that's why we strongly suggest to use Squarespace, an all-in-one platform to create a rock-solid online presence, which also happens to be this week's ad. Squarespace's powerful AI doesn't just help you to build a site that matches your style and needs. It can even come up with a completely fresh design if you ever feel like giving your online presence a stronger foundation. Whether you're building a personal project, a big web shop for your e-commerce business, or a simple page to schedule appointments with clients, using Squarespace means to get all the support you need, strong like a brand new oak beam. If you want to accept payments through your page, no problem. Everything's built in. You don't need to use third-party tools that could weaken your page, like moisture entering behind a cement plaster. And Squarespace Payments supports all major payment systems and providers right out of the box. I also recommend checking out their huge library of templates. They're a great starting point, proven to be structurally sound, and honestly pretty inspiring to scroll through. So if you want to make sure that your homepage doesn't crack like this wall, head over to squarespace.com/howtorenovate-a-chateau for a free trial. And if you're ready to launch, use offer code Chateau to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And if you're asking why I am wearing boots, these are by no means safety boots for a building site like this. This because I have to tackle another problem. I always said and knew they would come back one day, and they came back. I'm going to show you what happened. Can you see it here behind me? If you are a long-term follower of this channel, you know what it is. Unfortunately, it's not only here. They made the same mess there. They made even a bigger mess there. And the reason for this is we have an electric fence installed. But the problem, and it works, electric fences, they come, they get a shock and then they don't cross. But if there is too many leaves or branches touching the electric fence, it loses completely the efficiency. So what we decided today is to make it shorter and to exclude our cow field from the wild boar protection. So me and Jean-Pierre, our gardener, we spent the morning taking out all the posts for the electric fence from the cow field, and we are transferring it into a shorter, smaller circle around the park. It's like a machine that was digging up. I mean, you couldn't do it better with a machine, could you? I don't know how many these are. Maybe it's just one, a hungry one, or a family, I don't know. Also here, all the way there, and here, of course. And here you can already see Jean-Pierre there, putting in a new wire. It used to be all the way around here. You see the cow field there, all the way here. But it's just too much to keep it clean. We can't do it. And now we make a shortcut with the wire coming here. Yeah, and that's much easier to clean. It's much shorter distance. Pretty sure they live in here, because you can see they come in here and they just wait for the nice grass where we work the grass. It's better for them. It's easier to eat. If there's nothing touching it, this is very strong, and Ziggy tried it once and he doesn't even come closer than 10 meters. So yeah, I think the same for wild boar.
Since we set up the new fence 3 days ago, we haven't had any new intrusions. I hope this keeps things under control for a while, but if you've had a similar problem and found a good way to deal with it, please share your ideas in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.